This is Christopher Clark, Town Administrator for the Town of Harwich, coming to you again to bring you one of the monthly updates that we've been doing. This time I wanted to talk about a few various issues in a general way to try to let people know how your town government works. We recently have received some information about the cable and how does cable work and IT in general. And I thought it would be worthwhile to talk a little bit about how that operates within the town operation. So as you're watching, you see that we're on Channel 18 or on YouTube through the Channel 18 site. Channel 18 is really our network or our hub for how we send out messages through the video media to the community at large. We accomplish that through our studio, which is located in the community center on Oak Street. We have, I think, a fairly robust and good studio at that location. And the way we interconnect to our cable provider is through that location. One of the things that we're looking at doing is how can we improve and create the opportunity for live feeds. So if, for instance, you're watching a selectmen's meeting and there's a topic that has an interest and you live 5 minutes away, you could be watching on the live feed, think, well, I want to be involved in that discussion, and come on down to participate in the discussion. So a live feed does give us greater opportunities for public participation. We have been exploring doing the live feed. We have made a fairly good amount of progress in Channel 18 in the last year. We have a newer cable director, cable manager, I guess, in Jamie. And we introduced Caleb to the team not that long ago. So we are still a work in process, if you would. But in that short amount of time, we've been able to update the website. We've identified that we need to extend a fiber conduit, or I'm sorry, a fiber line from the community center to Town Hall in order to be able to do live feeds from Town Hall. We realized in the review of that work that the conduit had been broken during some of the school construction efforts. So we have gone in, we have repaired the conduit, and the next step in the process is to run a fiber line from the community center to Town Hall. What we are looking at beyond that is, now that we have that as a plan, we need to understand, well, what opportunities does that give us? And what we're looking at is, if we run fiber, we'll have the ability to do live feed. But we also want to see, is there opportunity to do other meeting rooms set up with stationary cameras that, for instance, a town staffer could go over, activate, and have a small meeting room be videoed with microphones in it and the cameras, and video that session that then could be played at a later date. Obviously, having one cable channel means that we can have one show on at a time, and that we can't do live feed from basically the one site. But we can tape multiple locations and be able to provide additional shows for viewers to watch. So that's what we're committed to doing, is how do we accomplish that in a way that we can utilize technology without a lot of additional overhead and additional cost. So that doesn't get created overnight. We're being a little bit diligent about how we understand how that works and how we get there. So in terms of our cable department, small department, but they've kept themselves pretty busy over the last year, and we will continue to be busy moving forward. I also wanted to talk a little bit about town government. That I know I've mentioned in previous broadcasts that we have 22 different department heads, which to me is just a reflection of the broad scope of how many different areas that the town covers.
Well, one other part of that is that we have a lot of boards and committees. I think there's over 50 boards and committees. And that is really made up, each of those committees is made up by volunteers. And I think it's important that as we try to improve and make improvements to our website, that if you have an interest in participating in town government, I would encourage you to kind of go to the website and look around. You can see what does the planning board do? What does the zoning board of appeals do? If you have an interest in the environment, maybe considering a position on conservation. So there are a lot of different opportunities for people that have time and talent to participate in their town government. And I would encourage you to look at our site, see what may be appealing to you, and then we have on the site a volunteer form that you can fill out and submit. The process is pretty straightforward: to talk to the selectmen and then to be appointed to a board after interview by the board. So we try to make the process as smooth and easy as we can. If you have, and I've had this happen in my time here, an interest but you're not sure how it matches up, you're more than welcome to arrange a time to meet with myself by calling the office at 508-430-7513 and asking to set up a time. And I'm happy to walk through the different elements in the organization. But we need volunteers in order to make town government work. We have a lot of boards and committees, and I think that your interest in participation only helps to strengthen government's operations. So I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to, cover everything I wanted, but I get my high sign that I've been at about 7 minutes, and I've been running these a little bit long, so I will keep this a little bit brief. The last comment that I want to make before I go is we have added a new member to our team. David Gilmet is our new Chief of Police. He will start on July 20th, and we welcome David aboard and hope that he has a good stay with us. Again, Christopher Clark, Town Administrator, Town of Harwich, thank you for your time and attention.